It's no secret that employment is a contentious topic within St. Catharines and Niagara. Gone are the days when manufacturing jobs provided employment for thousands and contributed to a growing local economy. Now, what concrete steps will you and your party make to tackle and overcome the jobs crisis in our city and across Canada? And how long until those steps come to fruition?
Thank you. That's a really good question. Jobs absolutely are such an important part of where we're living today. When I started at General Motors back in the 80s, I don't want to give away my age too much, but there were over 10,000 workers. Today, there's around 1,100. So for us to get jobs, we're going to have to bring up youth employment. We're going to have to actually consider having seniors, when they retire, be able to retire at 65 instead of 67. Have people create jobs, invest in youth programs, co-op programs, restructuring programs. Youth needs to be working. Right now, the jobs in Canada, we want to invest $24 billion invested worldwide into creating jobs. We are right now in a deficit of jobs. We need to increase jobs and we need to bring up employment. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Fannin.
I might be the only one up here that believes that the government doesn't create jobs. They just don't snap their fingers and hire a bunch of people. They can only create an environment that is good for jobs. And with this secretly negotiated TPP, we have dairy farmers, we have the milk producers, we have the auto sector, we have grape growers and wineries saying this is not good for us. We're selling our sovereignty away. So that's my first belief, but we need to look at infrastructure, transit, for instance. In the Niagara region, if I live in Fort Erie and I got a job in Niagara Falls, I'm done. I can't get to my job in 2 hours, for 6 hours, forget 2 hours. So municipal regional transit is a key portion to keeping people here and people wanting to come. I'd be surprised to find out, I'm looking for commonalities up on this stage that we can all say we're for. I'm for GO Transit coming here. I think it's a long shot because the numbers aren't there. But I hear Rick Dykstra thinks that the airport is our actual, as far as transportation goes, is our most important feature. So that's a little bit different. Sustainable jobs, end subsidies to oil and auto, unless auto is going to make green vehicles. My time's up.
Thank you, Mr. Fannin.
We've been told that manufacturing is in the past. We're going to look for other kinds of economic development, and I'm all in favor of that, but that hasn't delivered. In the last election, we were told a video game company was going to be the next GM, and Rick Dykstra had bought a lot of money for that company. He said that they're not going to cut and run. After the election, they cut and ran, went bankrupt. So the Communist Party still believes in manufacturing. That's not the only kind of economy we need. There's two concrete steps. One is, instead of companies saying, take a 50% pay cut or we're leaving, we just say it's a profitable plant. If they won't run it, we'll run it. Secondly, Jim said that governments don't create jobs. Well, actually they do. If the private sector won't invest, the public sector has to invest. That's how a lot of the economy of Niagara was built. Specifically with a clean car, the Communist Party is calling for building a Canadian car. It's about time to build an affordable, environmentally sustainable car. If the Americans want to pull out, the American car companies want to pull out, that's what they're threatening to do every time that a union goes to negotiations. They should be a Canadian-made car. Those two kind of things, through investing in manufacturing and through keeping the jobs that we have, are the two steps.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a three-point plan to tackle the employment crisis in Niagara. The first point, I did mention it briefly, is our infrastructure plan, the largest investment in Canadian history. Let's invest now while interest rates are low, and let's get people to work right away. And that was the question, when are we going to do this? We're going to do it right now. I've written a letter to the mayor, and I want to know what the shovel-ready projects are in St. Catharines, ready to go. Let's get the shovels in the ground, let's get people to work. Secondly, we want to take money from oil sands development, which isn't doing us any good right now. It's $300 million a year, and let's invest that in green tech. Under Rick Dykstra's tenure, our rank in green tech and green manufacturing, we're now 19th in the world, and that's unacceptable. Finally, our youth unemployment rate. Rick paints a rosy picture of our unemployment rate. Youth unemployment, it hovers around 20% right now, and that doesn't include people who've left to find jobs in other cities. We are going to commit $1.3 billion to youth employment strategies and create 120,000 jobs over the next 3 years.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think our partnerships with Niagara College, with Brock University, with the Niagara region, with literally hundreds of small businesses across the region, we have come together and we have built a much stronger St. Catharines and Niagara than we had 10 years ago. We have over 200,000 people working today. We had far less than that in 2005. And it is important to understand that each and every manufacturing job in this community is being built on the backs of small manufacturing businesses. Businesses across this region which are growing leaps and bounds. It means that they've got, 10 years ago, had 10 or 12 employees. They've now got 20, 25, and 30 employees working there. That's where we're finding the success in our community. The next steps that we need to take is to ensure that whatever we have to offer, whatever we are putting on the table from a Niagara region is done from a partnership perspective, and we ensure that at both the provincial and federal levels, where we are moving, that our provincial representatives and our federal representatives understand that they need to play a role in that. But it is the private sector that creates jobs. It is the government that can help create the environment for those jobs.
Thank you.